Spirit's messages know no time or space. So if you find one that feels like, oh, I think I want to watch that, it's probably got a message in there for you. All right, so that is getting started. That is running. Hello, welcome. My name is Valorie. I am a psychic medium and a channeler, leaning more into my channeling this year, and I'm super excited about that. Today is Magical Monday Manifestations, where I do a tarot card pull and then also an oracle card pull. And then as time permits, I will do one card pulls for select audience members. Do I select? No, Spirit does. So I let Spirit tell me who needs a message, an individual message today. And then we wrap it up with a brief energy activation. I never know what we're going to activate until we get through the card pull, because that is where Spirit lets us know what would be most beneficial for the collective. So I hope you stay through the whole thing. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. I want to take a brief moment to pause, because yesterday was an amazing day for me. And if those of you are also affiliated with Awkwardly Zen, I know some of you found me from Awkwardly Zen, even though this is Tarot Unicorns and Coffee, but I am strongly affiliated with Awkwardly Zen. And yesterday we had our first online fair called Awaken 2026. And I just want to express a heartfelt thank you to everyone that was able to attend, especially those of you that attended the speaker series. I don't know if you've ever spoken in front of a crowd, but if you showed up and there were only 2 people in the room, that might be a little bit discouraging. So thank you all for packing out those speaker series rooms all day long. It was so amazing to watch that. And thank you for those of you that got readings and just in general participated and sent us good energy. It was such an amazing event. So I did want to pause and say thank you to all of you for that. And now let's see, a lot of first timers. Woo, woo, I like that. Okay, let me go ahead and get the screen. I'm gonna not be able to see you anymore, but I wanted to take a couple of minutes to look at everybody. Let me go ahead and spotlight myself. We'll get into it. I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths, settle into this present moment. See what's coming up inside of you. Do you have an ask? Do you have a desire? Do you have a want? Do you have a need for clarity, support, guidance? What is that? Go ahead and settle into that feeling. And then when you find it, it usually arises in the form of a question or something you're wanting. Think of it as an ask. Get real clear on what it is you're asking for. And then imagine that you are tying it to a hot air balloon, a helium balloon. You wrote your little ask on a piece of paper and you tied it to the string of a helium balloon and you're letting it go. Let it go. Release it. And now I want you to switch into receiving mode, because we cannot ask and receive at the same time, 2 separate energies. So we're going to switch into receiving mode. I'm going to ask Spirit, what are the best messages for this group here today? All right, I've got my 5 cards pulled. The deck we are going to is a deck that I rarely read from. It's called the Arthurian Tarot. It was a deck that was gifted to me. It is deep and insightful. Let me show you the print is small, y'all. This is not a large print book. And that's probably why I haven't dug into it so much. But today we are, because that's what Spirit said we were going to pull from. So let's get these cards turned over and we will get into it. It is, Rosalie. You know, I like big decks. Big books come second. That's good. This particular deck also tells a story. So you, in order to really understand the depth and breadth of this particular artist's tarot interpretations, you need to be real familiar with the story of King Arthur and that era. I know about this much from watching that one movie with that one dude that was really, really sexy. But I don't know the full story. So sometimes I flounder a bit when I try to understand the context of the author in this deck. But today, this is what we're going with. So we get to learn together. So first up, we have the Sword 6, or the 6 of Swords. Starting out the week makes perfect sense to me because this is still a card about leaving things behind. I like this energy of leaving things behind. I don't always because sometimes I don't know what spirit is asking me to leave behind. And so that gives me a little bit of confusion. Or sometimes I'm like, my life is good. Why are you asking me to leave something behind? But this energy of leaving behind feels really, really good. We are still all collectively kind of letting go and releasing whatever came before so that we can step into 2026, whether or not you believe the new year starts on January 1st or it starts with a lunar new year, or you don't believe in any of that hocus pocus, a day is a day is a day, as long as it's on the calendar, it doesn't matter, because collectively, the collective energy is something new is brewing because of the new year. So collectively, we all experience that in some way or form or fashion. So the Six of Swords is still in that collective energy of releasing and letting go. It's the idea of we are all moving forward. Swords is our thinking, analytical mind. It's also air energy. It's also communication. And what I find very interesting about the Six of Swords is how much water is present, because it's almost always a boat traveling over water, and you are headed towards a distant shore where, depending on your interpretation, the sun could either be rising or setting. I prefer to say it's rising, that you are headed towards the sunrise, you're headed towards a distant shore, and the waters ahead of you are smooth sailing. The waters behind you are rough. So if you are in any period, any time of your life, any point of your journey where you're like, somebody says, how's it going? How's it going, Donna? And you're like, it's been kind of rough. Okay, great, because this card is for you. Rough waters are behind you. You're starting to smooth out. You're starting to sail towards that distant shore. You can see the sunrise. You can see the dawn of a new day. You're not there yet, but you can see it. Let me pull you back to swords, though, because this is swords. So what thoughts have been troubling you that you are ready to let go of so that you can move towards more pleasing, more calming, more supportive thoughts? What communication styles maybe in the past have gotten discombobulated or misconstrued, and I say one thing and my mate hears another one, and communication issues, those are now starting to smooth out. Those are behind you. Not because your mate finally decided to listen, but because you finally decided to take a different approach to communication. So the tarot is almost always about what are we doing in this world? Almost always, not 100%, but almost always. So what did you shift in your life that is allowing you to smoothly sail towards the horizon, towards the newness that you've been asking for? Whatever you shifted, Spirit says you're on the right track and keep shifting. You're moving in the right direction. Now, the thing that I often appreciate about this card, especially when it comes to humanness, is not, you can't see it here, so I will go to the book. But in general, there are passengers in the boat. And in general, those passengers look as if they are embarking upon some move, not just travel, but move. It's usually a woman and a child with baggage, and all of their baggage is in this boat, but they're still going. And you know what that tells me? That is always so reassuring, because when I get this card, when I know I'm moving through something and I'm trying to get towards something more pleasing, Spirit gives me this card to say, you keep thinking that you're not there because you keep saying you've got all of this stuff that you need to fix first in order to experience the life that you want, the one that's over there. And Spirit is saying, or you could just pack all of that shit with you and take it with you, and I'm still going to give you a smoother path. So this card comes as reassurance that Spirit sees you doing the work. Spirit sees all of the things in your bags that you keep lugging from destination to destination, from experience to experience, from relationship to relationship. And in this moment, Spirit is still saying, pack it up, we're still moving. We're still going. We're still going to leave those rough waters behind. I've already told you what things you need to unload from your luggage. You already know that. You're working on it. That does not stop you from moving. That does not stop you from getting in the boat. You do not have to say, only one carry-on allowed, and I have to stand on the shore until I get rid of everything else, until I have that one carry-on. Spirit said, bring it all. We're still going. You'll figure it out along the way. How can you move into action knowing that Spirit is guiding your thoughts, Six of Swords, so that you can release those that are no longer serving you, including beliefs and actions circulating and swirling around those thoughts, formed by those thoughts, and still move forward. Even if you have some things that you know you still are working on, this card comes to say, keep working on it, but move forward. Get in the damn boat. That's your message for this week. Get in the boat. Stop stopping yourself because you keep saying you're not ready. Stop stopping yourself because you see that there is more work to do. Yeah, of course there's more work to do. Get in the damn boat. All right, we're moving towards the sunrise, y'all. Next up is the Nine of Spears, or Spear 9. I'm gonna have to go to the book because I'm assuming the Spear 9 would be wands, since we already have swords. But let me just make sure. I can't understand what else it would be. We have stone. Stone would be pinnacle, yes. Oh, this book is, I should have done a little bit of research before I decided to read. Let's see. Where's the, what do you call it? The spears are wands, grails are cups, and stones are pinnacles. All right, got it. Wands. Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is great. Nine of Wands is great, especially when it comes to this, because the Nine of Wands is that image of someone standing and making their final stand, because the 10 is completion. They're like ready. They're not done yet. Something is still there that they need to make a final stand on. What? What are you making a final stand on? And is that final stand warranted? Are you standing on truth and honor? Or are you standing in rigidity and refusing to change? The Nine of Wands. Wands is fire energy. I always say Wands is personal power, but Wands is also action. Wands, think of anything that ignites your life. Inspiration, creativity, excitement, joy. That's the energy of this Nine of Wands. What are you standing on? What are you defending in your life? Maybe you're defending a passion of yours. Maybe you're defending an interest of yours. Most of us are constantly defending beliefs we have. And this is saying, I'm feeling this as if I pulled it in reverse, y'all. Y'all know because of my brain, I don't like seeing my cards upside down. So all of my cards are always upright, but I get the sense of a reverse, and I get it so strongly because I almost never say this card is in reverse. This card is in reverse for the collective. This card is in reverse for the collective because what I'm hearing is we are standing on the wrong business. Y'all heard that phrase, standing on business? Okay, you got your feet planted in the wrong place to make a stand, is what I'm hearing. So the way I'm interpreting this card, the energy of this Nine of Spears is upside down. And what that means is, paired with this one, Spirit is trying to get you to release and let go of something that has been causing you issues in the past so that you can move ahead. This is saying in reverse, nope, I don't want to let go of it because fill in the blank. I don't know why you're refusing to let go of it. But this Nine of Wands is saying that something is so personal to you. Something has been with you for so long that it feels like the reason why you do something. It feels like that internal fire. And you're saying, no, I'm making a stand on this because it's in reverse. I'm making a stand on this thing and I'm not going to move and I'm not going to let it go. We want to flip this upright. We want to make sure that anything that we are standing and defending is in alignment with what we are asking for. Did I say make sure that anything that you are standing on and defending is truthful, is honest, is upright? Nope. I said make sure it is in alignment with what you are asking for, because Spirit is telling me right now, you keep asking for something and you keep standing and refusing to move, and the thing that you are standing on is out of alignment, upside down reverse, with what you are asking for. What does that look like in practical terms? Spirit, give me an example so we can understand exactly what you mean by this. It means when it comes to manifestations, Let's say you're trying to move into a new house and you hold the belief that the housing market is shit and I will not be able to move into a new house in 2026. That is your belief. And you have backed it up with articles and you've talked to real estate agents and everybody tells you the market is shit. And so you've got proof now that your belief is true. And spirit comes in and says, you want to move? Swords. I need you to let go of that idea that the market is shit. I need you to let go of all the rough things that you've been having as you've been searching for this house so that we can move ahead into the house that you want to move into. And you said, I will move into a house, but I'm going to make it as difficult as possible because I refuse to let go of the truth that the market is shit. Because I listen to this real estate professional guru expert God every morning, and they said it's shit, and I believe them, and now that's my belief, and I refuse to say anything else. And Spirit's like, these two things are not the same. Y'all remember that old Sesame Street song? Two of these things are like one another. I don't remember it, but y'all remember it. These two things are not going to match until you flip this upright and say, I'm going to choose a belief that lines up with what I'm wanting. I'm going to choose a belief. Maybe the market is shit. I don't know. I don't follow real estate. But can you choose a belief that still lines you up with what you want? I don't care if the market is shit because divine is with me and divine is going to help me find that house. We have just circumnavigated and now these are back into alignment. So that's your job for the beginning of the week as far as manifesting. Let's move on because next we have the King of Cups or Grail King. The King of Cups, Grail King. Water, emotion, emotional mastery, intuitive mastery as well. Water represents intuition and also represents emotions. Also, more recently, I've been given the added layer of water for me in my readings. When I read the Cups card, it's talking about getting in the flow too, as it relates to manifestation. So this king, this divine masculine energy, is a master at getting in the flow, a master of emotional intelligence, letting his emotions inform him, not run the show, and also a master of tuning into his intuition. Doesn't it look like that's exactly what he's doing almost? Like maybe he sat down at the side of this tree to meditate for a bit and tune into his intuition. So what does that tell me regarding these two? If you are having trouble with flipping this back up, with figuring out which beliefs you're holding onto, the ones that you need to let go of, this king, this master of intuition is coming in to say, tap into your intuition. Tap into your intuition and let your intuition guide you because your intuition is really strong. That's why I'm getting a king for this group. Your intuition is really strong, but you keep putting it in the toolbox and not opening the toolbox. You keep thinking you have to move through life in a 3D physical. If it doesn't make sense in my reality, I can't make it make sense. And Spirit is like, intuition. Your intuition is going to guide you forward. It's going to help you navigate the waters of your life, if you will, but you've got to call it forward. You've got to invite it into your life. Let me go and see what the book says about Grail King. Because I am interested in all the symbols, like from his crown to whatever that is sitting on the ground in front of him. I'm very interested to see what that is. So let's see. Under a mighty oak sits the Grail King, holding an earthenware cup. From the tree hangs a golden bowl. Oh, I didn't even notice that. From the tree hangs a golden bowl from golden chains, this one right here in the forefront. Near the stream is a green stone. When the Grail King meets the Grail Guardian, he is challenged. Owain encounters such a guardian and throws water upon the green stone nearby, which provokes their combat. The golden bowl represents the archetypal vessel of quest by which the world is healed of its divisions. See, y'all see why I don't? That's a lot. That's a lot to chew on. This is why I don't often reference this deck. Upright, this card means an understanding, generous, supportive, loving, and honorable person, a healing, Latitude to move. Ooh. And we just talked about moving and shifting. Latitude to move. Interesting that it talks about combat and using water from the cup thrown on the stone to initiate a combat. And he is the king of the grail, king of the cups. In your life, if you were king of cups, what would you wage combat with? I personally, as I feel into that question, would wage combat with anything that does not line up or check against my intuitive knowing. I am an intuitive king in this sense. If my intuition says go left and someone is screaming at me to go right, we about to tussle. So that's the best meaning I can get from this card as it relates to why he would be going into war. So ask yourself that question. What is bumping up against your intuition, saying something in opposition or even just slightly different than your intuition that you just keep nodding and accepting and going along with? Spirit is saying, trust your intuition, stand as a king, understand your mastery, and follow your intuition. The fourth card, this is what happens when you follow your intuition. You become Merlin, Merlin the magician. 1, the magician card. You understand how to use all of the elements and tools at your disposal, and you use them effectively, and you create your world. And I love that infinity symbol above his head, representing that your creations and your power is infinite, not finite. Using all of the tools at your disposal means you have all of the tools. Where are they? Did you leave them at a friend's house? Are they stuck under the couch? Are they in your toolbox and you know where they are, but you don't pull them out? This Merlin card is coming towards the end of the week, towards the end of the card pool. After you've gone through some of the changes and the shifts and the turning that 9 of swords, 9 of wands upright. This is the now I'm settled in. I worked out the little bumps in my energy, and now I'm settled in. Now I can see all of the tools. This king reminded me I wasn't using my intuition. Now I see my cup. It's on my table. And now you are ready to co-create with the universe. What will you create? Who will be on your team? 3 of swords. I want to go back a minute because I want to see Merlin. I love Merlin. Now, I do know Merlin the magician. I love Merlin. There is a series, a BBC series called Merlin, and I really love that series. But let's see. Merlin stands before a stone table bearing the map of Britain and the 4 hallows, 4 regions. Oh, Lord, my eyesight. The red and white dragon intertwined between the Tower of Vertigen and Merlin's otherworldly dwellings. Merlin is the kingmaker of the Pendragons, the mentor of Arthur, and the guardian of Britain. So it's just telling us who he is. Let me see if there's anything in his story. It's a pretty long text that Spirit wants me to relay. It's just really telling his story. Keywords: creative impulse, imaginative insight, self-confidence, self-confidence, self-confidence. How confident are you in your ability to manifest and create the life that you want? Talked about that a little bit yesterday. Maybe that's the key, that we need to work on our self-confidence as it relates to manifestations. Mastery through a disciplined skill, initiative, perception on all levels, Alignment to the magic of life patterns. Now I know why I went to the book. That last one hit for me. Alignment. Alignment to the magic. Alignment to the magic of life's patterns. Are you aligned with magic? Or are you aligned with the way things are, the way things have always been, reality as it has been told to you? Or have you looked at reality and said, I don't like the way things are? Maybe you look at reality and you say, I don't like the fact that the sky is blue. And why is the sun yellow? Guess I just have to deal with the blue sky and the yellow sun. Or you can align with the magic. There are people who have different eyes than the rest of us who do not see a blue sky and a yellow sun. Maybe those people aligned with a universe that was more pleasing to their senses than the rest of us. I'm saying that just to say, when you say a blue sky, it's a blue sky, Valorie. What do you mean align with magic? I can't change the color of the sky. Some people have through vision impairment, as we call it. But what they call it, what spirit calls it, is no, they just aligned because they didn't like the color of the sky being blue. You ever heard of somebody that's been colorblind? They aligned with something that was more pleasing or more beneficial for their path than the rest of humanity. So it's not impossible when we look at it in the scheme of things like that. Nothing is impossible. So what magic are you going to align with this week? What things that you have told yourself are impossible, especially when it comes to creating your life, are you going to allow this energy of Merlin the magician to come in and show you how to align with magic and how to create your life regardless of what reality looks like, how to create your life the way you want it to look? Merlin. Merlin is here to help you. The Three of Swords. The Three of Swords often represents grief, sadness, heartbreak. Why would we be sad after Merlin comes in? I'll tell you why. Because Merlin is going to come in and give you the energy to create your life. And you're going to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Why didn't I do this 10 years ago? And as soon as you ask that question, why didn't I do this 10 years ago? There's a little bit of grief in that. There's a little bit of sadness that you didn't catch on faster. Man, my life would have been so different if ... Don't stay in that energy too long. This Three of Swords is just coming up to say there is going to be a little bit of grief, a little bit of sadness, or maybe you're moving into a new life. You are finally starting to create, or at least lean towards, I can create the things that I want. And as you do that, you have to let go of some things that you have already created that just don't fit anymore. Okay, that's all this is. I do not feel the heaviness of this card that I usually feel when I draw a Three of Swords. When I usually draw a Three of Swords, it's like, oh, Nelly, watch out, something's coming. Something's coming, be prepared. I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling that, yeah, there's going to be grief and sadness, but it's the same grief and sadness you get when you buy a cookie and you drop it on the floor. No, the 5-second rule does not apply. When you buy a cookie and you drop it on the floor and you have to throw it away, it's that kind of, oh, damn, it's not big, it's not life-changing grief and sadness. So look for that towards the end of the year, but look at that as a positive sign. When you feel that, that means you are shifting and you are letting go and you are releasing. And that's why you feel a little bit of sadness, because you're kind of grieving what you have let go. So it all feels very positive for the entire week. As we move through the week, it feels like little shifts and tweaks in what we have been doing for this week. It does not feel like big, heavy, major life changes. So I like that energy. Anybody else like, oh, thank God, because I thought you were going to tell me I had to go on a Buddhist silent retreat in the Alps in order to get to what I wanted. No, it feels like little tweaks, accepting that you're moving forward, deciding what beliefs no longer suit you and letting go of them, standing in your authority, allowing that intuition to rule you, stepping into your magic. And then at the end of the week, as you look back, it's like, oh, I did have to let go of that. Damn, that cookie. I really wanted that cookie, but it's not going to be a major grieving process. Let's see. Someone said, my Three of Swords is so dramatic. A lady crying, a lady with swords and crying. And I'm so glad that this one is really calm. Yes, Haley. You must have light seers, Sherelle. Yes. You know how I'm going to just offer a different perspective because I always was like, oh, shit, here comes the three. Here comes this bitch again, telling me I'm going to get my heart broken. I have seen that in a different way for a few years now. So I offer this to you. When I see that card, I do see her crying, but I see that as a huge emotional relief. And I see those swords piercing her throat, her heart as a heart opening. Now her heart can expand more and she can offer more love in, but that process might be painful as she's going through the growing process. So I offer that to you in case that fits. Sometimes it is a literal, no, you need to grieve and cry and get it all out. But sometimes it feels more like my heart is opening. And the reason why I'm experiencing this pain is just because it's new and I'm growing and I'm not quite sure what's going on. So those are our tarot cards for the week. How's everybody doing? Did that resonate? That makes sense to some of you? Great, great, great. We're going to move on to oracle cards. I've got so many decks. I couldn't decide which decks we needed, and I pulled so many of them. We're going to go to unicorns because, you know, tarot, unicorns, and coffee. Oracle of the Unicorns. Thank you, Tom. All right. Oracle of the Unicorns. Passion. What is that? Pray tell. Looks like a fire horse to me, or a fire unicorn, close enough. I love it. Passion. Okay. I give up. Let's get the classes. Now I can see. Do what excites you. Get fired up about your life. Increase your energy levels. Interesting because we just had someone say how tired they were over in the chat. And then we have this card, increase your energy levels. Passion. The thing that I find most interesting is the one card. Was it just one? I do believe it was just one card out of the tarot that was Wands Fire Energy. And even though I rarely read it as a reverse, Spirit absolutely told me turn this card upside down and read it as a reverse. And this is Fire Energy. And then we have the Oracle card, All Fire. So I do believe the message of this is going to help us turn this back upright and get into positive flow with that Nine of Wands. So let's see what the message is. Passion. Life can be an exciting adventure if you want it to be. You never have to settle for less. Did y'all hear that? I don't think you heard that. You never have to settle for less or accept feeling bored or unfulfilled. You can live a fraction of the possibilities that are available to you, or you can open your arms wide and say yes to life. The fire unicorn is here to ignite the fires of passion in your heart and set your life ablaze with energy and enthusiasm. Do more of what lights you up and fearlessly pursue your passions in both your career and your personal life. Have the courage to go traveling, change jobs, or start your own business or nonprofit association. Take a stand for what you believe in. Speak out on issues you care about and get more involved in making a difference. Interesting that this says take a stand for what you believe in, and that Nine of Swords is taking a stand. Get out into the world and laugh more, dance more, love more, live more. Leave fine and normal behind. Maybe that's the Six of Swords. Maybe you're leaving fine and normal behind because it just didn't spark you anymore. And choose a life of amazing and fabulous. When people ask you how you're doing for this day and for the next 6 days for an entire week, I want you to answer, I'm amazing. I'm fabulous. And feel into that. See if you can make that true for yourself. Choose a new life of amazing and fabulous. Decide to play the game of life by your own rules, living boldly with a sparkle in your eye and a fire in your heart. This card can also be a call to increase your energy levels so that you naturally feel more alive. Clean up your diet, get more sleep, exercise regularly, drink more water. It didn't say that. Drink more water and nurture your body. When your energy levels are high, so too is your passion for life. So this is absolutely a message of how we can lean into the message of this card and turn that Nine of Wands back upside, right side up. All right. The unicorn's coming through with the fire unicorn. I did not pre-select that card, but I feel like it is so fitting for what many of us are experiencing right now. So I love it, love it, love it. All right. I thought I had another deck. I do not. Maybe I do. No, I just see the one. That is so interesting to me. Okay, I thought I pulled another deck down here and I'm not seeing it. All right. The next deck that we are going to, though, is Goddess Oracle deck. Goddess Oracle deck. I do not know how to pronounce the name of this particular goddess, so I'm just going to say her first name, Bixia. Bixia Yuanjin, maybe? Love that skirt, though. With every breath, I climb higher to reach my goals. With every breath, I climb higher to reach my goal. Bixia, perhaps Yuanjin. See what her message is. What is this goddess coming into our reading to bestow upon us, to help us? This is a Taoist goddess of the wind, dawn, and destiny. Her keywords are imagination, inspiration, liberation, and manifestation. Imagination and inspiration. So we are still in fire energy. We are still talking about how the hell did we get that Nine of Wands upright? So Spirit is really drilling this into us. Bixia is at the birth of every child. She casts them a loving glance and determines their destiny. She was given this ability after winning a contest between the Taoist gods by sending a soothing breeze which encouraged humans to climb higher than ever before. Oh, think about that. Where in your life would you welcome Bixia's breeze to blow over you and inspire you to climb higher than ever before? Here's a ritual. The Taoist goddess of wind, dawn, and destiny symbolizes ascent and achievement. This ritual below focuses on setting and progressing towards personal goals in line with her uplifting energy. Just 3 steps. Visualize a goal you wish to achieve. Well, that's perfectly in alignment with Magical Monday manifestations. What do you want to manifest? With each deep breath, imagine climbing a step towards that goal. Affirm, each step I take brings me closer to my aspirations. Each step I take brings me closer to my aspirations. If that ritual practice resonates with you, I encourage you to do it because it seems really simple. It's probably something you could do right now while I'm still talking. As I read through that, it's like, oh, I can see exactly why, from this much that I know about neuroscience, why that's not just hocus pocus and why it will actually help you with your brain rewiring and manifesting and all that. And that is such a simple practice. So if it resonates with you, I encourage you to do that a couple of times throughout the day. Take a couple of deep breaths. Imagine yourself climbing a stairway. Repeat to yourself that you're moving closer to whatever it is you are trying to manifest, or that it's moving closer to you, whichever one feels better. The more you do it, the more you believe it. Yup. Climb higher than ever before. Capricorn energy. It is Capricorn energy, Alyssa. And we are in Capricorn. Yeah, we're in Capricorn season. Aren't we far enough that we're in Capricorn season. So you got Capricorn energy and Vixia blowing your skirt up, making you go higher. I love it. I love it. Oh, I'm glad you pointed that out, Alyssa. Okay, the next deck we're going to is the 22 Archangels Oracle Guidebook by Kyle Gray. Which Archangel has a message for us today? Raguel? You can barely see that because of how bright it is. Waves of healing. Be open and vulnerable as this will initiate healing and harmonious resolution. That is just, I wonder if I can get the glare off of it enough for, look at the little, like the rainbow behind this archangel. Love it. Let's see what his extended message is. Raguel, known as Friend of God, is the pearly white androgynous angel of harmony. They work very closely with all of those who call upon them to bring an end to conflicts and challenges. This powerful archangel helps us to remember the importance of relationships and brings to our awareness the limiting stories of our family history that we can heal and change. That could be one of those beliefs that you're holding on to that you need to let go of. Limiting stories of your family history. They work closely with Michael and Zadkiel. All are angels of justice who help bring peace, calm, and righteousness to the earth. Here's our message. Whenever Raguel is closed, it means that you are moving through a great healing. A wave of harmony is washing over you now, and you can find harmony and resolution to conflicts, both internal and external. If you have had disagreements with those around you, ask yourself what you could do to be more open and honest, and how you yourself show up with the energy or needs you feel are lacking. This will help you to be received and understood. Angels are guiding you to stand down from fighting and arguing. Take a step back, call them in, the angels, and allow them to work their magic. There's that word magic again. Are you aligning with magic, or are you trying to do it all yourself? Your heart is calling for a restoration of peace, so it's important to tune in and really ask what that looks like and feels like for you. If you're in a mental battle with what your instincts are telling you to do, know that your instincts aren't the holiest version of you, for they contain your genetic blueprint and therefore the limiting stories and beliefs of your family lineage and of humans' lineage as well. Not just your family, but humans. Instincts are called instinctual for a reason. It's not something that we choose. It's usually not something that can be taught. It's something that is passed on. So ask yourself, am I following my instincts, which may or may not be outdated, evolutionarily charged, or family charged from something that came before me? Or am I tuning into what I truly need and following that? Because that is a truer compass. You are here to create a new, more advanced version of that story, one that is whole, healed, and complete. You are in process, but you are progress. That gave me that idea of the Six of Swords again. Spirit saying, I see you with all those bags. Get in the boat anyway. You're in the process of still trying to figure things out, still trying to decide what to bring and what to leave behind, but you are still progress. You are still getting in the boat and moving forward. You can be both. You can move and still not know where you're moving. You can learn as you go. You can release as you go. If there's any message for this year, it's stop waiting. Well, I say that there's so many more messages. That's the one that's coming through right now. Stop waiting. Let's see what else we have going over there in Chap. Stellium and oh, there's currently a stellium in Chap in Capricorn energy. Mercury, Mars, and Venus and the suns, Mercury, Mars, and Venus creating the stellium, are all currently in Capricorn. And Mars hasn't been here in 2 years. So whatever has been stuck for the last couple of years in general, in regards to long-term goals, whoop, whoop, may start to move if you let it. I'd love that, Alyssa. And I love how that lines up with the cards and the oracle and the messages that are coming through from spirit. And Mars energy, Mars being fire energy, no wonder fire has shown up so many times during our reading, if that's what's going on collectively. All right, let's see. We're almost at time. It feels like I just flew through this reading. Makes sense why my career wasn't careering. I love that. Okay, I'm going to wrap up. Still feel called to pull this, so we're going to keep going. I'm going to pull this and I'm going to try to make it pretty quick. The card that we have is full moon. Oh, the deck that I'm pulling from is Moonology Manifestations, her Moonology Manifestations deck. Full moon in Cancer. Let your fears dissolve. Ooh, look at all that water. Let your fears dissolve. What if this was the same lake that the Six of Swords boat was in? Let's just imagine that for a minute. Same lake. We're in that Six of Swords boat. Our thoughts are creating our reality, swords. And this comes to say, while you're in the water, why don't you go ahead and toss your fears overboard too? Let your fears dissolve in that big body of water. We can do both. We can let our fears dissolve as we also acknowledge that we're moving towards smoother waters. I am glad I went to this deck, and I'm glad Spirit gave me the idea of same body of water that we're moving through. But let's see what else this card says. Full moon in Cancer. Fears dissolving. Anybody got some fears they want to dissolve, or y'all all good and not fear? Y'all fearless? Y'all need me to read this card? Oh, okay. You got some fears you want to dissolve? All right. Fear and neediness may now be at play. Fear is debilitating, while neediness isn't usually very attractive. Acting out of fear is a risky response. So if you dwell on your insecurities, what you'll manifest is an extension of those insecurities. The reason why we should face our fears is that in doing so, they often simply dissolve. If we don't face them, though, they can continue to influence us and act in ways and make us act in ways that we otherwise wouldn't, which means we can end up manifesting the very thing that we are hoping to avoid. To see off or to let go of the fear that is in you, face it right now. Find a balance between Cancer's oversensitivity and Capricorn's coolness. Well, that's interesting because this card doesn't even say anything about Capricorn. And here we are talking about Capricorn over in the chat. And the card says, find the balance between the two. I'm loving this. I'm loving the connecting the dots that's going on with what's happening astrologically, what you all are experiencing, and also the cards that are being drawn. Facing your fears and working out where they came from will point you in the right direction and get you into the right mindset. That's all I'm going to read in the interest of time, because I do feel like there are some people that will benefit from a one-card draw, so I'm going to try to fly through them. Maybe I'll get to 2 or 3 of them before we do an energy activation. And y'all, can y'all tell? Can you guess? Can you guess? Go guess over in the chat what the energy activation is going to be. She tall. You put me in there first, and I'm going to pull for you. And I'm not pulling tarot cards. I'm pulling affirmations for a badass. Y'all are all badasses today, okay? Claim it. You got a shirt that says it, even better. Wear it. I got a bracelet that says it that I wear every day. Y'all are badasses today, and I want you to claim that badass energy. Badass energy feels the same as magician energy. Remember that magician card? Shatal. Well, you can't see it. I'm going to read it. You are fucking amazing. Rock that shit. That is your card. There it is. You are fucking amazing. Rock that shit. Who else needs a card? Ren. Ren, this is what your spirit guides, your team, your ancestors want you to know about you right now. It's okay. Mistakes are proof that you're trying. Don't give up. Ooh, I like that one. Who else we got? Kate. I'm not going to read that. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to say, because I'm nice, focus on the positive and don't be silly. That's how I'm going to rephrase that. Focus on the positive, Kate, and don't be silly. Elizabeth B. I think I have 5 minutes. Oh, Elizabeth. If love turns lonely, I know you can't see it. If love turns lonely, let go. Let go of what is no longer serving you. Do not cling to it if it is no longer serving you. So maybe that's what that 6 of Swords was for you this week. I need to let go of that. Maybe that 9 of Wands, Wands is fire and passion and sometimes heart. Maybe that's why it's reversed for you, because you're like, no, this is love. I'm hanging on to this. And Spirit is saying, if it feels lonely, let it go. All right. There's one more person I want to get to. I'm going to get myself out of spotlight to see if they're still here in the room. Jennifer. This is for you. I know you can't see it, but I'm going to read it. This is you. This is your affirmation for the week. I am amazingly strong, competent, take no shit, speak my mind, forward fucking badass. Woo, I like that. I want everybody in the room to claim that one. I love it, but especially you, Jennifer. All right. Let's activate some energy. The energy that we are going to activate. And also thank you all so much for being here. I want to briefly say, if you haven't checked out my calendar, please check out my calendar. I have an exciting, new to me and new to the community event happening on January 22nd, where we talk all about manifestations, but in a way that is more personal to you. You may get a chance to get in the hot seat and have channel guidance help you get from where you are to where you want to be. January 22nd, check it out. All right, let's get into the energy activation. I don't know if y'all put it over in chat. What are we activating today? We are activating the energy, the guidance, the support we need to let go of the things that are no longer serving us. Let's get a little help. Let's get a little help. So I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Take a couple of deep breaths to really settle in. Calm yourself down. She says after she hyped you up, calm yourself down. Breathe deeply. And imagine a stream of energy coming to you. That stream can be coming from anywhere beneficial. Maybe it's coming from God, the divine. Maybe it's coming from your spirit team. Maybe it's just coming from the ethers, from all that is. And see that stream coming down, coming through your crown chakra, filling up your brain and your head and your thoughts. And that energy is sorting through your thoughts. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to think a thought. You don't need to hold an intention. You just need to call that divine energy in. And that energy is sorting your thoughts for you. Feel that energy moving. And now that energy is going to leave out the soles of your feet, all the way down through your body. And as it leaves, it is taking with it the thoughts that are no longer serving you. The only thing you need to do is agree to release. Agree to let that stream of consciousness, divine support move through you and remove from you that which no longer serves you. And it is returning it back to Mother Nature, to Earth, recycling it. None of that is your job. Your only job in this moment is to let that stream move through you and take away what is no longer serving you. Take a couple of deep breaths as you feel a little bit lighter, as you feel a little bit more organized in your thoughts, as that stream continues to do its work. Go ahead and blink your eyes open and come back to the room. And know that you can tap into that stream as much and as often as you want throughout the day and throughout the week. And that it's not efforting so much. It's not, I have to do this. It's not, I have to find the thought that is out of alignment. It's, I have to allow divine support to come in and remove what is no longer in alignment. And then I have to just keep choosing what is in alignment for me again and again. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support, for continuing to show up and listening to me and Spirits on Monday mornings. And I hope to see you back at other events, or at least next Monday. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Go out there and manifest. Love it. Oh, Rosille's here. Hey, girl. Thank you.